These are 7 mysteries lurking in the deepest parts of our ocean that scientists, despite decades of research and billions of dollars in technology, still cannot fully explain. And here's the unsettling part. A study published in May 2025 confirmed that humans have visually observed less than 1,000% of the deep sea floor. That's a total area roughly the size of Rhode Island, which means almost everything down there remains completely unknown. Let's start with the sound. In 1997, NOAA hydrophones designed to monitor submarine activity and seismic events picked up one of the loudest underwater sounds ever recorded. They called it the bloop. It originated somewhere in the remote South Pacific, west of Chile, and it was so powerful that sensors detected it 3,000 miles apart. The sound had characteristics that mimicked marine animals, but its volume was far too great to have been produced by any known creature on Earth. For 15 years, the bloop captivated scientists and conspiracy theorists alike. Then, in 2012, NOAA officially attributed it to an ice quake, the fracturing of a massive Antarctic ice shelf. Case closed, except not everyone agrees. Some researchers argue the bloop was significantly louder than any recorded ice quake. Others have pointed to industrial sources, sunken structures expanding and contracting with deep ocean currents. And the bloop isn't alone. The upsweep has been detected every year since 1991, a seasonal sound that rises and falls with no confirmed origin. The Julia, recorded in 1999, was a screeching metallic groan heard near Antarctica. The ocean is full of voices we cannot identify. Now, let's go to the Baltic Sea. In 2011, Swedish treasure hunters Peter Lindberg and Dennis Osberg were scanning the seafloor with sonar when they found something that shouldn't have been there. 90 meters below the surface sat a perfectly circular formation, 60 meters wide, with a dome-like shape and what appeared to be stair-like features leading into a dark central void. When divers reached it, they found the object measured 210 meters long, 4 meters tall, with straight edges and sharp right angles. They brushed away sediment and found the surface was black. One diver said it looked burnt. The internet compared it to the Millennium Falcon. Theories ranged from a crashed alien spacecraft to a World War II anti-submarine device. Geologist Volker Bruchert at Stockholm University analyzed samples and found ordinary granites, gneisses and sandstones, exactly what you'd expect in a glacial basin. But here's the thing. The Baltic Sea is notoriously difficult to scan. Salinity gradients and temperature shifts distort sonar readings, making natural formations look artificial. So what created those right angles, those stair-like features? The scientific community says geology, but no one has offered a definitive formation mechanism. Mystery number 3 lives in the Arctic, and it has been alive for a very, very long time. The Greenland shark can live for more than 500 years. That is not a typo. A team led by Julius Nielsen at the University of Copenhagen developed a method to date proteins in the shark's eye lenses, proteins that don't change once formed, acting as a biological time capsule. One female specimen, over 5 meters long, was estimated to be at least 200 to 72 years old, with an upper range exceeding 500. As Nielsen put it, "We definitely expected the sharks to be old, but we didn't expect that it would be the longest living vertebrate animal." These sharks take roughly 150 years just to reach sexual maturity. They swim at less than 2 miles per hour. Their stomachs have contained the remains of polar bears, reindeer, and horses. In 2024, scientists sequenced the Greenland shark's genome, but the fundamental question remains: how does a vertebrate survive for half a millennium? We still don't know. From the oldest animal to the strangest light show. For over 400 years, sailors have reported milky seas, vast stretches of ocean that glow steadily at night, bright enough to read by, stretching over areas as large as 100,000 square kilometers. In 2019, a milky sea the size of Iceland appeared south of Java and persisted for more than 40 days. These events are visible from space. Scientists believe the glow comes from massive concentrations of bioluminescent bacteria called Vibrio harveyi. But as researcher Stephen Miller at Colorado State University has noted, we have no idea what milky seas mean for the ecosystems they are found in. They could be an indication of a healthy ecosystem or a distressed one. Why do trillions of bacteria suddenly coordinate to produce light across an area larger than most countries? That mechanism remains a genuine scientific mystery. Now, a creature that inspired the Kraken, The giant squid wasn't photographed alive until 2004 and wasn't filmed underwater until 2012. Some estimates suggest they grow up to 66 feet, but there's something even more elusive. On March 9th, 2025, scientists captured the first confirmed footage of a live colossal squid, 100 years after the species was formally identified. The footage, taken near the South Sandwich Islands at a depth of 600 meters, shows a juvenile swimming through the deep Atlantic. Squid expert Kat Bolstad called it humbling, noting that they have no idea that humans exist. For a century, everything we knew about colossal squid came from beaks found in sperm whale stomachs and dead specimens tangled in fishing nets. We still don't know how they hunt, how they mate, how deep they actually go, or how many exist. Off the coast of South Africa, something unprecedented has been unfolding since 2017. Great white sharks have been washing ashore with their livers surgically removed. The culprits are two orcas nicknamed Port and Starboard for the directions their dorsal fins bend. In 2022, aerial footage captured orcas killing great whites for the first time. Then researchers documented Starboard killing a great white entirely alone in under 2 minutes, extracting only the nutrient-rich liver, which makes up roughly a third of the shark's body weight, and discarding the rest. As biologist Alison Towner described it, from a scientific perspective in South Africa, it's absolutely unprecedented. The ecological impact has been immediate. Great white sharks have largely abandoned South Africa's southwestern coast. After one of Starboard's kills in 2023, great whites disappeared from the area for 4 months. An apex predator is being systematically hunted by a smarter apex predator, and the ripple effects are reshaping an entire marine ecosystem in real time. Finally, the Mariana Trench. Challenger Deep plunges 36,037 feet below sea level, deeper than Mount Everest is tall. In 2024, the Chinese submersible Feianduji made 23 dives and discovered thousands of worms and mollusks at depths up to 31,000 feet, the deepest colony of creatures ever observed. Scientists have found mud volcanoes that ooze cold fluid with a pH of 12, caustic enough to burn human skin, yet containing fats from living organisms. The Mariana snailfish thrives at 8,000 meters. Supergiant amphipods use aluminum to reinforce their exoskeletons, the only known species to do so. Every expedition to this trench returns with something that challenges what we thought we knew about the limits of life. We have mapped the surface of Mars in greater detail than the floor of our own ocean. Exploring just 4/10 of a square mile of deep sea floor costs between $2 and $20 million. 5 countries are responsible for 97% of all deep sea observations ever conducted. The ocean is right here, beneath us, and it remains the most alien environment humans have ever encountered. These 7 mysteries are not relics of a pre-scientific age. They are active, evolving questions being investigated right now in 2025. And the most unsettling realization isn't what we've found down there. It's how little we've looked.